Today, drama means going back on our word. Drama means being moody. And drama means we just don't wanna. Hi, welcome to Drama Means. Today we're talking about our comfort dramas.
So, remember a few weeks ago when we said we were going to watch a bunch of new stuff so we could make new episodes after our break and, do a bunch of episodes about brand new shows we were going to watch? We lied. We haven't watched anything new. I mean, that's not true.
That's not true. We are currently watching new things.
Some of them are really long. I think, if the Chinese costume dramas weren't 32 episodes, we could bring you guys more episodes of the podcast. So if you want to write a letter to someone or something, don't write it to us. We're not the problem. These dramas are too long. So we're going to talk about dramas that we watch over and over again. You get a little bit of drama hangover. You don't want to move on to something new. And so you go back to your comfort food. Those things you always just make you feel warm in your tummy and you can just put on and enjoy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because that's kind of the mood we're in.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm not really sure if it's because I'm having a hangover from Forever You or the fact that, it's not really done airing yet. But Forever You is one of those that I am just constantly replaying right now.
Yeah. You've watched this a lot of times and just different scenes. You've watched it from beginning. You watch moments. You're kind of all over the place here.
I am. And a lot of times I start in the middle. I only watch the climax emotional parts or the extra cute parts. It's kind of a non-linear watching experience.
Right. You're just out there cherry picking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But there is something about, as we said in our episode of Beside the Sky, I would watch Beside the Sky, the newest episode. In this case, Beside the Sky is done airing. I would go back and rewatch it. But also, I would go back to Forever You season 1, and I would watch my favorite parts of it.
Well, the thing we should also mention is that you started watching it and you ran out of episodes. So then you were like, I have to know, and went back and read the book. You were before it was over, you were quote unquote rewatching this.
Yes. Before it was over, I was rewatching it. I read Beside the Sky. I read Sun from Another Star. I read It's Winter season lately. I'm still waiting on the Dun story. I haven't read the North story, but I might just go back and read the North story. I might go back and read Easter's story. But also, I've discovered a whole world of other novels that certain BLs are based off of. And I might just go on this whole journey of just reading all these books.
Here's the problem. We don't do a reading podcast. The podcast isn't, what is Mel reading this week? So I know that sounds like a noble goal, but eventually we do have to start watching new things.
I know. So this is exactly how hard Forever You has imprinted itself into me. Right? So anyway, past that part, other shows that I constantly rewatch, and probably the another BL that I rewatch so often is My Love Mix-Up, the Japanese version.
Right, and we did a whole episode about this. We talk about this, and when we talk about this, I can remember it. Outside of that, I couldn't pick this drama out of a lineup, which is interesting because you were like, I'm going to go back and watch it. I'm going to go back and re-experience it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that one. It's not that it's bad. It just doesn't register. It just didn't stay with me at all, which is so interesting. I enjoy it, but there's nothing there for me to go back and rewatch.
So the thing is, I like cute shit.
Yeah, I like cute moments too. But again, I don't necessarily go back to rewatch the cute moments. I want something more, I don't know, involved is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. I saw the cute moment already. I don't need to see it again.
So with my love mix-up, we watched the Japanese version, we watched the Thai version, and I have the whole manga series.
Oh, here we go back to the reading again. I'm sensing a trend.
So, it's just something that it's a story I love. It's very simple. It's lighthearted. The characters are adorable. The Japanese version, I feel like the actors really fit the roles. So I rewatch it. It's like, especially one of those like nights where I don't feel like going to bed and I don't feel like watching something new and I don't want anything too emotional. I will pick up My Love Mix-Up.
No, that makes sense. I mean, it's interesting because I think sometimes I wouldn't call these guilty pleasure shows, but the ones that we go back and we watch and we could watch a million times are so deeply personal. Like the way we like it are so deeply personal, it doesn't really translate to someone else. I'm going to give you an example of this. This is an international movie that Mel doesn't like so much. That is one of my favorite movies from childhood, and I have watched this movie 100 times. And it is called The Man from Snowy River. And I may have even talked about this on the podcast already, and I wrote a paper in college about this movie, by the way. I could watch that movie a million times over. You absolutely think it's garbage.
I think okay, first of all, the first time we had just met and you're like, you have to watch this movie. It's so good. I'm like, all right. I fell asleep so fast.
Well, that's your fault.
That's my fault.
You weren't paying attention to the intricate storylines and the wild Australian actings.
That was my fault. So as I tried again, and I'm just like, all right, I'm going to give it another chance. And I'm just like, this is it. Okay.
And honestly, I get it. But when I watch it, what I take from it are these, rather than cute moments, are these character moments. And I think, say what you want about the filmmaking and say what you want about the acting in Man from Snowy River. I think it's genius. But I can also understand why people will go, that. But for me, the way it's structured and the character moments that it builds to, and that's what I wrote the paper on in college, was like, this builds to a character moment that stuck with me forever. And I was like a kid when I watched it.
Okay, so when was the last time you rewatched this?
A couple years ago.
And did it hold up?
I will say it's not a great acted film, but it holds up in the way that every other Western kind of holds up because there's no technology. It doesn't feel dated. It feels of a time. And I don't think the acting is fantastic. I do think actually Kirk Douglas, who's in the movie randomly, like he plays two characters in the movie. He plays these twin brothers, is always good. But it's still the story, and I'm still on board for this guy's journey, and to point it it's a kind of a coming of age story, plus about a guy finding his way in the world and trying to prove to himself and his mountain men that he deserves to be there, that he deserves to be called a man. And maybe it's when I watched it, like how old I was when I watched it, that it stuck with me so much, like this character arc. But I think about it all the time.
So, by the way, I hate Westerns.
Yes, that's the other thing this movie didn't have going for it.
At the beginning of when we first met, you didn't know I hated Westerns. I actually didn't know I hated Westerns then either.
Yeah, but this one's not like a typical, like, shoot 'em up Western. This is like a cowboy movie. Set in Australia, in the mountains, and then ultimately in the plains. But for me, that's, when you talk about like cute moments, I think about what brings me back to this. It's like those character moments where, everything culminated into this decision and we saw the character growth, which is missing in so many movies these days. And you're like, no, go back and watch that movie. It may not be the greatest movie ever, but it does that thing really, really well.
And I can understand that. The thing is, for me, there's so many movies and dramas that we watch that have great character moments and like amazing, like story and plot. I don't usually want to go watch those again. It's always like the lighthearted, easy to watch ones those are the ones that I want to rewatch.
I wonder sometimes, because when you go back and rewatch things, you are normally coming off a drama that you really, really loved on a very deep level, and you do have that drama hangover, we call it. And I think you kind of like, you don't want to commit to like diving in full-heartedly into a new drama. Like, feels like cheating on the old drama, and so you want something a little more fluff. Like, that's what you look for.
Yeah.
You don't look for something super serious and soapy, and you look for that kind of fluff in the rewatch because it gets you out of that drama hangover of those deep emotions until you're ready again.
Yeah.
And I think you and I rewatch things for a different reason.
Yeah. But the next drama that I want to talk about is one of those very emotional, epic dramas. The only thing is, I only go back and watch scenes that are fluffy.
So you dive back in to the emotional depths to watch the fluff. You're like, I watch horror for the comedy scenes.
The only horror that I would ever rewatch is Kimjira. And the reason why I don't watch Kimjira over and over again is because of the horror.
Yeah.
The scary moments.
Because you want the fluff, even in the drama. Okay, what are we talking about? Which one are we talking about?
Love Like the Galaxy, which I tried getting Ryan to watch. And I don't know, maybe like episode 5 or something, you were so out of it. Like, you're like, I'm done. This is, like, it's a little slow. Like, it takes a really long time to develop the characters. And the beginning, like, your lead, which Zhao Lucy plays, right?
Uh-huh.
She doesn't even really, like, have any kind of development with our lead guy until, I don't know, like episode 12 or something, like a long time.
Right.
You know, like he's not even the first guy. Like, her character like goes through, I forgot, it was 2. I can't remember if she was engaged with 2 people before the main guy, or one guy and then the main guy was the second, and then she was engaged with a third before ending up with the second guy again.
I will say sometimes the Chinese costume dramas have balls on them to like not introduce either the male lead or the female lead until like super deep in the show. Like, that takes some guts to be like, here's the show. Your homegirl ain't showing up till episode 9. Like, what are you doing? I thought she was in this. Nope, she's coming later. He has to fall in love and out of love with someone else first. Yeah. That's, as a storyteller, that's bonkers to me.
Well, in this, they introduce them. They just don't, like,
they don't interact.
Yeah, their paths cross, but like affection-wise and relationship-wise, they don't develop until really late. And that is why Love Like the Galaxy is a 2-parter. Like, they consider it season 1, season 2.
Okay.
Right? First season is like 27 episodes, and then the second season's like 28 or something like that. Like, total episodes 56.
So, again, it's not our fault we can't make episodes of a podcast, because these shows are 56 episodes long.
Well, I mean, you know, at least the Chinese ones like release 2 episodes a day, or
it's
like,
still, there's only so many hours in a day. I mean, that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah. But the scenes that I specifically rewatch are a scene where, like, it's like really early on, and Niao Niao, played by Zhao Lucy, she gets invited to this like family friend's home. All the government officials' daughters are there.
Or those, like, the trifling hoes, like the peanut gallery.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, you're so ugly and fat. Yeah, like, just the bullies, right?
Yeah.
So she figured out that this really old bridge is like unstable and no one should cross it, right? So she makes it more unstable and takes like a thing, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, not a pillar, but like a,
yeah, like a cross member or something. Yeah.
And she basically like pulls it out and like hides it, right? And Leo Wu's character, Ling Buyi, so he like has kind of figured out what she's doing. right? And so he goes and like kind of teases her, and like he has no intention of like telling on her, but he's like definitely like poking at her, be like, oh, what are you doing, like I know what's going on, kind of thing. And she thinks him as her enemy, and he's too dangerous, right? And so, but the thing is, when the day happens and like she's trying to lure all the girls out on this bridge, he literally helps her by like standing really close to like this. Cause it's like at that time, like men and women can't be in the same room, or if they're in the same room, all the women had to be like,
yeah, they can't fraternize. It's improper.
Yeah. So, but all the girls like are, trying to marry the men's, right? And so the guy, uh, Ling Buyi kind of like has this other guy, and he's like the really great scholar guy or whatever, and he's like, come over here to this edge so the girls can see us better. And so the girls like, oh, we want to see them, and they all pile onto this bridge to get as close to them as possible, and they all fall in the pond. Right? So like I just love moments like this. It's just like, like he had no intention of ruining her plans and actually helps her.
Right.
But then doesn't say, hey, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, it's just he gives it a nudge.
Yeah. And then just like little moments like that. Another scene is the scene where like Now has to like pull this. Ling Bui has an arrow stuck in his chest.
Like you do.
Yeah, and so because he's like a general. And so she helped him like get the arrow out. And the tension in that scene is so strong, and like you can literally feel how thick the air is. Mm-hmm. Right? And like literally it will make the audience hold their breath watching that scene. So like scenes like that I'm, all about. So, and then finally Ling Bui gets betrothed to Now, and so he's like shows up at her house, and he's like a really serious general, and he makes her whole family do like drills.
Oh, what a good time he is.
I know, and exercises and stuff, and like early morning, right? And the whole family wants him out of their house. It's just like certain moments, like it's hilarious, and then there's like romance tension, and it's just great.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, and those are scenes that I just rewatch over and over and over again. But I mean, I have a whole list of things that it's like on the rotation. And so when I get in these moods, this is all that's playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, how big is the list? Like, is this 50 deep? We're gonna do a top 10, a top 3. Like,
I mean, I could do a top 10.
But... I mean, just do a few. Let's just go through a couple that are other. I will also say, I just want to go back to the episode number, just to put it out there in the universe. 18 episodes is the perfect amount of television for a season. Just gonna say that right there. So if someone wants to, like, how they like made a law in China now that they have to be like under 40, like just make that under 20. And then we're good. So if someone knows some politicians over there that can get that working, I'd appreciate it. Because 18 to me is like perfect in any scenario. It's enough of a season. You don't have to cut anything short. You don't have to rush anything. It's plenty of time to tell a story. But I don't have to watch the show for 6 months. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. Let's get to your list.
It's so funny you say this. And the thing is, there are dramas. There are Chinese dramas, right, that netizens claim to have not had enough time to, like, convey the full message. And it's, like, episodes that are, like, 20-something episodes, or, like...
They're wrong. 18 is plenty. You can tell every piece of the story you want. And if you have more than 18 episodes, you got too much. Season 2.
Yes. I agree with you. Although I can do 24. To me, 24 I can still handle.
Yeah, every show to me that ventures into the mid-20s, it gets there and I start worrying. Because I'm like, oh, here come the filler episodes. Here come the nonsense episodes. Here comes we don't have really enough story for 25, but we have to do 25. I'm like, man, if you would have just chopped the head off of that monster, it would have been a great show. but you had to do 7 too many episodes or 12 too many episodes, and you're stretching things out. And so, like, if we get into the 20s, almost always I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off. A few times it didn't happen. We've watched a couple that were like satisfying all the way to the end. And I'm like, okay, 30 episodes and you kept it going decently good. I'm there for it, but I don't usually need that much.
Well, I mean, it's so hard with this rotation because I have old classics that I grew up with. I have just like all BL. And then I have, like different like feel good lovey dovey ones. So but my first and foremost that I go to so often is a Korean BL, and it's season 1, season 2, which they're short episodes, so they've actually made movie versions of it. So movie 1, movie 2.
Okay.
It's called To My Star.
All right. I don't think I know this one.
You don't know this one. I'm sure if I put it on, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen you watch this before. But I don't talk about it that much, but I watch it so often.
Interesting. So is this also cutesy moments? Is this deeper? What's the attraction here?
So season 1 is kind of like a cute, almost a little typical Korean drama. Season 2, a lot of people didn't like it per se because they do break up. And as a lot of, fans, they don't believe that once you're together, you could possibly break up and get back together. And so, like, in season 2, so one is an actor. Okay, sorry. Season 1 is an actor. The other is like works at a restaurant. He cooks. So during his scandal, he like went to this restaurant, asked for like, wanted to use the bathroom, but like bought food, and he's like, I'm not really going to eat it. You can eat it. But he paid for it and then left. And the other guy thought he was an asshole for like disrespecting the food.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So then, and then later he realizes the apartment that the chef, the apartment that he's renting is owned by the manager of the celebrity. So the manager has the celebrity move in to the apartment to hide out from paparazzi.
Sure. And love ensues.
Okay. Right? So typical season 1, typical, easy, fluffy, right? Season 2 to me is actually better emotionally, right? Because the chef basically has to deal with consistently being alone at home because the celebrity is so popular, so busy,
everyone wants his attention all the time.
Yeah, and has to be hidden. So he like moves back to his hometown and starts a restaurant. He names the restaurant, I forgot the name, it's Italian, but basically it means I'm waiting for you, right? And of course the celebrity doesn't know, and I think he spends a year trying to look for him, couldn't find him, finally found him. The restaurant is in this countryside.
Okay.
So he goes there, kind of starts being, and he's super like personable and friendly. The celebrity is like major extrovert, and the chef is like super introvert, like, doesn't talk to anybody. So all the people in the village kind of hates him. Hates him. And then the celebrity goes and basically like becomes friends with all the villagers and like gets them to like start going to the chef's restaurant and accepting the chef into their fold.
Okay.
Right. It's a lot deeper, like the way they deal with their relationship and how they get back together, and I prefer that, but I watch them back to back. And I usually watch the movie versions because it's basically the series put
shorter, abbreviated.
No, it's the whole series. It's just they put it in movie form.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't have to like next episode.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It runs through. So I wasn't expecting to say that much about it, but
do you want to just explain the entire plot to the as 2 hours later?
Yeah, so that is my number one go-to.
Okay. Can I get a word in edgewise here?
Of course you can.
I like boy movies.
I know you do.
That's where my comfort comes from. Like, if I want to relax and watch something, I made you watch Best of the Best not too long ago because it's just a comfort movie and I hadn't watched it in a few years. And I was like, I love me some Best of the Best. It's just my jam. But I think my all-time favorite rewatch, we'll watch it a million times. And the interesting thing about this movie is it's a remake, and not a lot of people know that. But it's Fist of Legend with Jet Li, 1994. It is credited with basically the visual style of The Matrix comes from this movie. Like, the choreography of this movie, the Wachowskis saw Fist of Legend when they were making The Matrix and went, we need the choreographer that did Fist of Legend, because those fights are just groundbreaking, incredible, hold up to the test of time. And then Jet Li is kind of receiving the baton from Bruce Lee with this story. He's receiving the character of Chen Zhen. And then obviously that character has gone on and they've done 50 different stories with the Chen Zhen character, and Fist of Legend 65. I don't know. Every time I flip through like Amazon, there's a new Chen Zhen story that I haven't seen. But Fist of Legend is so watchable. And for me, it's the fights, but also there's a great movie moment where he has to fight his best friend. He doesn't want to fight his best friend, but his best friend is kind of forcing it, and he, pulls his punch and doesn't take out his best friend, which is almost more humiliating to the friend of like, wow, you pity me that much that you're not even fighting me for real. And it's just like, you understand that brother rivalry and hatred, but also love. And then, I don't know, it hits all the goodness. It's the ultimate boy movie.
I don't dislike that movie.
It's a great movie. It's really good.
Yeah, I also can watch boy movies.
Obviously. As you should.
Yes.
That's one of the best. I would say that's my number one rewatch. In that, yeah, there's no flaws. It's no flaws. It is home cooking.
So another BL.
Are you just gonna go BLs, huh?
No, I mean, should I skip it?
I mean, it depends on how much of the plot you're gonna describe.
I won't talk much about the plot. It's called His, which is a movie. The thing is, there is kind of a prequel to it that is a drama. I don't remember. It's only a few episodes. It's also called His. I don't remember. It's like His dash something.
Okay, so it's like a subtitle kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's their backstory basically. It's when they were like in high school and how they met and how they kind of fell for each other and how they were a thing. And then the movie starts out with one of them has left the other already, and the other has moved to, a rural town and living his life. And the other guy has like a daughter, and he comes back, seeking, I don't know if he was really seeking forgiveness, but he needed a place to stay. And, the other guy accepted him, and then they kind of start living together with this guy's daughter, and they have, the guy starts learning how to take care of like a child, and then they kind of build this family together. It's simple, but the emotions are pretty strong in it. I don't actually rewatch this that often, but I do rewatch it.
Okay, but that's more strong emotions than necessarily the cutesy stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so good pull. I like it.
So, but another one that I do rewatch, and it's called I Don't Want to Be Friends with You.
I love the title.
And it's basically about a daughter who fights with her mom a lot and feels like her mom has no time to take care of her, and she's always on her own, and she's kind of starting trouble, and she runs away. And at one point she runs away and stays the night at the spa, and when she kind of wakes up, she's in the past, and she meets her mom as a high school student, and she becomes best friends with her mom.
Okay, I kind of remember this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The acting is really good in it. It's really like poignant. I love like the message, and then you learn all this stuff. She learns like who her real dad is, all that stuff, and it just it's nice.
Well, I'm going to go back to another boy movie. This boy movie is not international, and your question before of like, do movies hold up? This one does not hold up particularly well, and the main romantic uh, relationship in it is kind of cringy. And but the movie itself is often referred to as uh, Top Gun with cars, and it is called Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise, Robert Duvall, and Nicole Kidman.
I actually have never watched this before.
It's I have it on DVD. And it's a stock car racing movie. After Tom Cruise did Top Gun, at some point they were like, let's make a movie about stock car racing. And it's so stinking watchable most of the time. But like, there's some super cringy moments, but it's such a boy movie, and it's testosterone, and it's boys and cars and grease and Rubbins racing and all those things. Like it probably spawned like more quotes than people are willing to like acknowledge. Like people in like the main pop culture learned a lot about, stock car racing from this movie, and then adopted some of the terms. But like, it's one of those movies where I can just sit down and watch. It ain't all that deep. It ain't all that, like, there's no hidden message. It's all right there. It's about brotherhood and friendship and blah, 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 race, win, race. And they're doing a sequel.
They're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
Currently.
I believe they're currently making Days of Thunder 2, which I have to check, but I think Robert Duvall just passed away, so I don't think he's in the sequel. But yeah, I believe they're making Days of Thunder 2 right now.
Interesting. Okay. I'm probably not going to watch that.
I don't know if I'll watch the second one either. But maybe one of those like, it's on a streamer and I'll catch it.
Yeah.
But the original is one of those, like, I watched a lot like in high school. It came out in like 1990, and I watched it a lot in high school. And you're like, yeah, it's a boy movie. Other people watched a lot of Varsity Blues. I liked Days of Thunder.
Interesting. Another one that I rewatch is called Reply 1994.
I remember Reply 1994, yeah.
Yes, and I think like in our episode where we talk about like good breakup scenes, we talked about Reply 1994, but it's just one of those, it's so many different layers to it of why I like rewatching that the most, and why I actually like, out of the three replies, I prefer Reply 1994 over the other two.
Right.
It's just so nostalgic for me.
I knew you were going to use that word because that's what I like. I don't necessarily get nostalgia for this, but I like the way they use nostalgia in the show.
Yes.
And base it around events that people were like, oh my God, I remember that. Of course, 1994, da, da, da. Like, I really enjoy, and I think those things are super rewatchable because they call your childhood back, into your memory and go, oh my gosh, did you remember that flip phone? Oh my gosh, did you remember I had that in my bedroom too?
Yeah, but the characters are so like well crafted. The rapport is so fun, and they have some good emotional moments, but for the most part it's all about camaraderie and friendship. Like, no, same thing.
Camaraderie and friendship.
You know what I mean. Anyways, it's just a lot of fun. But also, they have the magic eye books where they're, most of everyone can see it except for she couldn't see anything.
Oh yeah, I feel your pain.
Oh my gosh. And then standing in line to use the payphone. And
with the magic eye books, it wasn't until my eyes got worse as an older human being that I could start seeing the picture. Yeah, like I'm like, you'll see them online sometimes, and I go, oh, I can see them now. I could never see them before.
So, okay, well, my sister had a magic eye book. I could not see it ever. And then we would go, they used to have those like galleries where they had those like hung up. And I would try so hard to see it. I could never see it.
That's why you didn't see it, because you're trying too hard.
That's the thing. And my sister's like, oh, you have to like unfocus your eyes. And I would unfocus for a while, and then I would focus, and my sister's like, I can literally see you start focusing.
You're doing it wrong.
I know. And so, but my friend had one in her living room, and periodically I would be able to see that one, but just that one. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see them now. I'll go look at this Magic Eye book, and then I can't ever see it. So it's just little things like that. But to me, I related the most with 1994.
Yeah.
Right?
It's also when you were a teenager, those years, like that, I think it makes the most sense, because was it when Reply 1988? Like it's almost too far back to for the nostalgia button.
So what I enjoyed most about 1994 was like they really put an emphasis on everyone's friendship.
Okay, I see.
Yep. And then I think it was done best in terms of like, who is she going to end up with? Right? And it was very, like, they really hit it, and they did a really good job of like, you really don't know who she's going to end up with.
Right, there's two viable options.
Yeah.
So it's not just one that is so over obvious that you're just kind of eye rolling. Like, the love triangle always falls apart when the whole audience goes, she's never going to end up with that bozo.
Yeah. And 1988, they put more emphasis on the parents rather than the kids. And I understand that a lot of the audience preferred that. I felt like your foundation was always about the kids growing up and like the new age, right?
Right.
So when you spend so much time on the parents, you've lost what you were going for from the beginning when you started 1997, when you did 1994, right? And then they put so much emphasis because the who is she going to end up with did so well in 1994 that they forced it in 1988.
Right.
And they had an issue was they originally were going to have her with Ryo Junyo's character, right? But there was a leak. I forgot if it was footage leak or if it was a script leak.
Yeah, I remember this.
And so at the end, so all the romance was her and Ryo Junyo, right? Then they changed it, and at the end she ends up with Park Bo-gum.
Yeah, which I get it. Like, you have a leak and you're like, oh no, now we can't do the thing. But it's such a binary like decision. So even if you go the opposite way, it's not like you were like, oh wow, what a twist. You're just kind of like invalidating your show now, just to kind of almost to spite the fans.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you thought you knew? Well, you didn't. It's the other guy. Yeah. And everyone goes, okay. Like, it would have been more of a twist if she didn't end up with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, if they had a falling out in the last episode and she decides, oh, I'm not going to be with you at all. That's more of a twist than just, haha, we paired her with the other guy because the leak. Bleh.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I rewatched 1994. I also had liked Jung-woo for so long.
You were obsessed.
I was obsessed.
Team trash. Hashtag. Wait, no. Hashtag team trash. I feel like an old man when I said hashtag afterwards.
But that's the thing. No one uses hashtags anyways.
Sorry, just tags. But if I just tagged trash, no one would know what I'm talking about.
So I was obsessed with trash. And at the time, everyone was obsessed with Yoo Yoon-suk.
Yes.
Right? And I, at that time, started joining this Korean language exchange group. And everyone was talking about how Yoo Yoon-suk was so great, and she should have ended up with him. And
did you ever bite your tongue? Or did you let him have it?
I bit my tongue a little bit, but I'm like, literally, Trash's character knows everything that she wants and is thinking about before she even needs to say anything. And she doesn't she always hides her emotions, right? In terms of her brother or whatever. And he knows it. And she doesn't have to say anything, or she has this back pain all the time. And again, she doesn't have to say anything. he just acts on it and like makes her more comfortable when she's like in pain, and he knows that she wants to hide her face because she's mourning her brother, right? And he just like puts like the hat over her eyes, right? It's these little tiny things that she doesn't have to specifically say for the other guy to do something.
Yeah.
Right?
No, he's in step with her.
And this is exactly what we're like looking for nowadays when we talk about green flags and the effort someone puts in for you, right? But back then, people all they cared about were looks. They only cared because they think Yu Yun Suk is better looking than Jungwoo, right? And I'm like, okay, guys, but think about it. If you're that character, what actually would be best for you? Also, Yu Yun Suk's character is an idiot.
Well, like, we know how you feel about dummies. I think dummy characters are like, you can't be attractive. Like, dumb dummies, beautiful dumb dummies is not Mel's jam.
I was like, you cannot date someone so freaking dumb where you're literally like, you have to explain every little thing to him.
Are you trying to say that we are less superficial now? I do not agree. People still just think looks rule.
Of course.
Like, they're the same. No one's changed.
Like we watch K-dramas or like Chinese dramas, all those, and like for whatever reason people think like the ultimate compliment is you look good or you're pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but like you don't see anything else. Like I'm not worth anything other than looks. Like that is.
Yeah, it's just the face on the poster.
Ugh.
All right, so I want to go through a few more. I want to go more rapid fire. Let's just go through a few rapid fire. Because you have one on this list that makes me think of a genre, which is you like Fat Choice Spirit as a rewatch, right? And I think the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year comedies are like made to be rewatched.
Yes.
Like intentionally. They're like Christmas movies, right? Like you get out at Christmas and you watch the cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies. You never watch it any other time of year unless you're really weird. And I know a few out there in internet land do, so there you go. But like the Lunar New Year movies, and mine would be the Detective Chinatown. Like I don't go back and watch them, but I do think about like every Lunar New Year. I'm like, we should watch Detective Chinatown again.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of, because at one point Detective Chinatown was coming out every year and now it's not.
I kind of miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of those franchises I'm like, can you guys just do this forever?
Yeah. But that's like the new, so back in the day it was All's Well That Ends Well.
Right.
So every year they would come out with a new All's Well That Ends Well. And, you know, like, it's just complete slapstick silliness. Like, wonderful comedy. But you're supposed to watch these during Chinese New Year because you just want to laugh all the time, right? For Chinese New Year. And so, but for me, people love, which I also really loved specific All's Well That Ends Wells. But for me, like, Fat Choice Spirit is like...
That's great.
It's fantastic.
It's so good.
And so I always want to rewatch it. Like, I also have a DVD of it, but now it's like all scratched up and it kind of skips when we try to watch it. And I don't actually know if any like streaming platforms has it.
Yeah, I might just reorder it on DVD again. It's great. It's such a good watch.
I love it so much. And it's like, there's so many layers to it because there is a message, like a lesson to be learned in terms of like attitude. Yeah. And like your way of like thinking. You need to like think positively. But then there's like the comedy aspect of it. But also it's just like fun. And then you learn like how to play mahjong, and then there's like an aspect of like family to it, and of course we have all our favorite actors in it.
Yeah, everyone.
It's just so good, and I could watch that like every single day.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so rapid fire. Give me three more just titles to give to the audience out there of instant rewatch.
Well, we can't not talk about Tempo. Like
we have talked about Tempo. So just quick fire Tempo.
Yes,
and let's move on.
Yes, Tempo, since we've talked about it many times, but Tempo is one of them. Gosh, there's so many. Life, Love on the Line, which is a Japanese BL. Rational Life, which literally my like number one husband material character is in it.
Yeah.
Restart After Coming Back is also Japanese.
This is a long list.
I have so many. Like I can like
this is why we're never going to watch anything new ever again. This list is long and exhausting. We're going to start a second podcast called Here's What We Rewatched This Week.
You know what happened, though? I recently tried to rewatch Love by Chance. And, you know, it used to be a show that I could, like, rewatch again and again. And this time, I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Okay.
The acting in it, the quality of it, it's just, like, it's so dated now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, theme-wise, it's still that, like, college, university, like, Thai BL drama. It was, like, in the forefront. It wasn't as old as, like, Lovesick or Make It Right or Sodus, but it was, you know, around that time when, like, people were first starting to get into BL, and it was, like, Perth Saint was the couple. And I've watched this several times over and over again, but at this point, I actually tried to watch it, not last night, but the night before, and I couldn't get through the first episode.
Yeah, but I mean, like we talked about before, like sometimes the genre moves on, and that other stuff doesn't have the same magic. You can appreciate it for what it was at the time, but the genre has left it behind. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. So that was kind of a first for me. I mean, I've recently rewatched 10 Liners and what else have I rewatched?
I can't keep track.
That's true. I mean, I rewatched Hidden Love.
Yep.
I mean, considering we did the Master Boba episode.
Oh yeah, infamous boba scene that I can't go to a boba shop ever without trying to put the straw in like a cool guy.
It's just like so many, and I don't know. It's just there's so many to list that I've already.
Well, enough about you. I'm going to talk about me.
Okay.
Because I have a genre of movie that isn't necessarily I go back and rewatch all the time, but this is a genre of if I'm in a hotel and this movie is on, I will always stop and watch it. Or if I'm scrolling through social media and someone has clipped a scene, even though I've seen the movie 1,000 times, I will stop and watch it. And these are the 3 movies in rapid succession. My Cousin Vinny, I will always watch if it's on in a hotel, and I will always stop through a TikTok of My Cousin Vinny. I love that movie. A Few Good Men, just so well written and crafted. Even if it's a boring scene from A Few Good Men, I stop and watch it. What was the other one? I had the other one in my brain, and now it just evaporated out of my mind. Usual Suspects. That's the one. I'd said that before to you. Usual Suspects is the first time I ever saw it was on television, and I watched it with commercials because I was so riveted. And so the first time I saw such a watered down version, I saw the TV version. But this brings us to our final question of the episode. It's a little thought experiment, and you get to answer it. You are, in order to win $1 million, you are sequestered in a cabin, all by yourself, 30 days. No entertainment except for one single iPad that you can load one show on. And that is the only show you can watch in total seclusion for an entire month. I feel
like you're adding a lot of these, like, extra things.
No.
The question is...
No, it is, you get to watch one show as your entertainment for 30 days. And if you break down and call the phone and say, I can't handle it, I need something else, you get one show that you think, that you know, I can be entertained for 30 days. What is that one show?
For me, it's a variety show.
Okay.
Called Hello Saturday.
Well, they have a lot of episodes, so that is a key, I think, element of this.
Yes, they have 200 plus episodes.
Oh yeah, you're solid.
I'm solid. And honestly, like, you can go through a lot of episodes in one day if you're, like, watching it, like, I don't know, 8-9 hours a day or something.
Right, if you're just binging.
Yeah.
But normal TV behavior, watch a few a day, you'd be plenty entertained.
So the thing is, it is also still airing. So every Saturday there's a new episode.
Oh, that's smart. Look at you. You're going to go with something that's still going on.
Yeah, so if I start from the beginning and I binge through and say I make it to, the last episode, I can wait for the new one that comes out Saturday, or I literally won't remember what the first episode was.
Yeah, you go back and watch all over again.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a solid answer. You know what I kind of thought you were going to say, which is my honorable mention, is Running Man. The original Korean Running Man.
And I mean, there's
also hundreds of episodes.
So many episodes.
And I think technically it's still going. It's kind of stopped and started, and
I think it's still going. I'm not really sure. Like, the thing is, when I first started watching Running Man, it was really great. And then there was a point in time where it was like there was a big lull.
Yeah, it got a little stale, and they were trying to figure that themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, and I got kind of bored with it. And honestly, like, I don't watch it anymore. We used to be obsessed with it.
I haven't seen it in quite a bit. I mean, we just watched the Thai Running Man, like last week, which I thought was, there was a little bit of lulls in the episode, but I thought overall the cast is super likable.
Yeah.
And actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I came away with it, like, really liking the cast.
Yeah.
And the people they put together. But I think Running Man would be a good answer for this as well. My answer is also an international show. It is the Juggernaut. I don't know how many episodes. There's a lot of episodes. There's 22, 23 seasons of the original cast. And then they continued it. I think there's 10 more seasons that aren't so good. Top Gear.
And this is just Top Gear, right? You can't include Grand Tour.
I think technically you're not allowed to include Grand Tour because it is a different show, even though it's pretty much the same show.
Uh-huh.
And you don't pick Grand Tour because there are way more episodes of Top Gear. And it's honestly kind of fun watching the episodes from like 20 years ago and watching like the brand new car tech. Oh, this just came out of this car. And you're like, oh my God, it's so old. Like, that stuff's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
I sometimes like watching it in reverse order so the cast gets younger. You start with these old fat men and then you go back and they're kind of like, oh, they're so much younger by the end of the show.
So yes, I have sat through many an episode of Top Gear.
And I can watch them all as if it's the first time I've ever seen it. Like, I remember, but I just so thoroughly enjoy the show that I still laugh at the jokes. I still forget what's next. And there's so many shows that are like, is this the one that they do this? Is that the one? So it's always new to me. And I will stop and watch it a lot. And yeah, that's kind of my drama hangover. Probably number one show ever. So if I was locked in a cabin with one show, I love my Seinfeld, I love my 24, I love these, but it's Top Gear. Sorry, scripted television.
I mean, that's the thing, like, even if we pick, say, Love Like the Galaxy, which has 56 episodes, right? That's only 56 episodes. And, like, even though I can rewatch scenes over and over again, before a month, like, I'll get sick of it.
Yeah.
Without anything else. And apparently we can't have books and stuff.
I mean, I'm just saying, you get one show. I'm not saying can't, like, you can look out the window. It's a beautiful cabin. Like, you can do lots of things. I'm just saying, as the thought exercise is one television show.
Yeah. I would be reading.
No books. This isn't book talk. Get your books out of here. We don't read.
But, yeah, so it would definitely be Hello Saturday. And they're just games.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Fun stuff. Honestly, you know what show I like more? And I think it has less episodes than Running Man. But what show I liked more than Running Man was X-Men.
I remember you. I never really got into X-Men as much. I liked the cast from Running Man. I liked the dynamic. I loved the name tag pulling game. So, like, X-Men never really did it for me. I like it, but it's just not top of mind.
So the thing is, like, Running Man, they have certain episodes that has spies. Like X-Men, you're always looking for the X-Man, right?
Yeah. It's a very similar.
And also, there used to be a show called Love Letter, which is also a Korean variety show, and that, like, they added like aspects of like romance to it, and you're always like, they're always trying to pair off, and and I had a ghost ship of Huangbo and
Oh boy.
and so that came from Love Letter. So it's kind of, yeah, but I don't think they have as many episodes as Running Man, and I don't think they have as many episodes as Hello Saturday, which also, before Hello Saturday, there was Happy Camp, which was very similar to Hello Saturday.
But you can only have one.
I know.
And it's Hello Saturday.
It's Hello Saturday.
And mine's Top Gear, and I'm ready to go to my cabin now. Everyone else can leave me alone.
Man, because, that question is, you win $1 million, but, like, food and everything else is, like, paid for?
I'd be in heaven.
I know. I was like, please, can we do this?
Cabin away from other humans. Check. Entertainment on demand. Check. Fed and housed. Double check. I'm there. If anyone wants to pay me $1 million to do that, I'm there.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
But yes, that is it for us today.
And we will now try to watch new things and create new episodes.
Yeah.
And we'll figure that out. So stay tuned for more. We'll see what we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
We don't know, because I'm about to go and I don't know, binge Gel Boys or something.
You think you are?
No, we have to watch what's it called? How Dare You is what we're watching right now.
Yeah, it's good. We'll get through it and talk about it at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.